Oh snap, what's going on the YouTube? This is SCL0320 representing JVS. Back for another TV review. This was actually going to be on The Flash episode 4. The name of this episode is The Fury of the Firestorm. It's actually going to be the first appearance of Jax, who is technically the second Firestorm, Jackson. I guess there is kind of a villain in this one, but there's a lot going on throughout most of the episode. And this is a non-spoiler review, just by the way. I actually really like this episode. I didn't know whether I wanted to score it low or high, because there were certain things about the episode that I really didn't like. But then there were a lot of things that I really did love, especially towards the latter end of the episode. Like, I'm not going to even talk about it. If you want to know about that, go to my spoilers for review. You can be able to check that out exclusively. But oh my gosh, there are some heavy things that go down as far as this reveals and what's going on. But as far as the thing I didn't like, I'll go ahead and bring those up so I can talk about the things that I really did love in small detail. I didn't like the character Hewitt. Hewitt, the way he kind of comes in is that Professor Stein, he's basically unraveling. His body's not able to contain anything, and they have to find another host to replace Ronnie. And Jackson and Hewitt, they are notable candidates, and Caitlin is really gung-ho about trying to do that because in her mind and her heart, like, she needs something to replace Ronnie. Not just that, the sacrifice and the willingness to be a hero, she's trying to force these two men to do it, and it has catastrophic effects in different ways. But as far as the CG of Hewitt, when he actually does exhibit like how the reactor affected him, and not just that, the powers that manifest after when they tried to merge with him, I did not like those. The CG was really bad. I thought it was like, I don't know, it was just so bad. Like it was really kind of like fire mixed with lightning, and it was so convoluted. I didn't like the look of it. Now, when you finally do see Firestorm, when you finally see Jackson as Firestorm, it looks just as good as it did with Ronnie. Like, they've got that fire on fleek. It looks really good, looks really detailed, but the way that they did this alternative character is just so bad, man. I didn't like that. And not just that, like, because of the dissension that was going on with Jax from the first part of the episode where you see him in the football and working with his team to the accident that happened, and then you find out his backstory. Those are good things, but the dialogue in between sounds really cheesy. It sounds really corny. But it's all good, because I mean, there's a lot of cheesiness that goes on this episode all the time with this series in general. But there always is grounded weight, and I think that the weight has shifted from Barry onto Iris, because Iris's character, to me, she's growing. She's really growing. Like, she's not just an asset. Like, the last episode, the first part of the last episode, I wasn't here to do reaction, Joe was. That was so freaking cool. Like, her just diving out and Barry catching her in midair, and just like their interaction and his being motivated, and him just like accepting what she's supposed to be. That is his Lois Lane. She is his Superman, and I just love their dynamics together. But as a character, she's growing. She's growing from what happened with Eddie, what's going on now with her mom. There's so much weight behind it, because now she's faced with something that her mom springs on her and Joe, as well as her first interaction with her mom. Like, she acted that so well. And not just that, like, the character Joe and the actor that's playing Joe, I love these characters. Like, he is so awesome. Like, I would love to have like a dad like him. Like, he's really cool. He's really cool. The way that he works with Barry, the way he works with Iris is so specific. Even there's a dialogue that happens between Barry and him when it regards to relationships and moving on and doing, you know, something more as opposed to holding back what he's supposed to be and what he's supposed to do. It's done so well. I really like how they did that. Because it encourages Barry to not just progress, but to also pass that knowledge on to somebody else, to be able to help somebody specific, in Caitlin, and in the way she's handling this whole situation with the Firestorm, with Professor Stein. Because Firestorm, he's dying. Like, he's not able to maintain any of this. So I like those parts of it. But the big springer is, like you saw the last episode, you saw that Harrison Wells is still alive, but it's from Earth too. And why is he there? Why did he go to the gateway? All this goes to full circle at the end of this episode, and they have a surprise villain and they have a surprise like CG shot that's done so well. I was like, it shifted my number from a really low level to like a 90. I literally said like I gave it a 9.0. But either way, I liked this episode. I thought it was really good. I thought it was really insightful. The Firestorm part, where it comes to like him coming upon his powers, can come off as really cheesy. But the backstory of Jackson was actually done and executed pretty well. It's just the part with Hewitt, with his CG and manifestation of his powers. It was really bad CG. It was really bad CG. But as far as with Barry, as always, everybody was on their P's and Q's. Everybody was acting their butt off, as well as Cisco just being funny as awesome. And not just that, like there's a thing that happens with Stein and with Jackson towards the end of this episode where Stein finally really kind of confronts Cisco, like, look, this courage that you feel like you have, look at what's happening to me and look what I'm utilizing it to do. You are a hero, basically, in so many different words. And I like that about this episode. I love Stein. So we'll see where this goes with Legends of Tomorrow. But either way, hopefully you enjoyed this review, this non-spoiler review for The Flash, Episode 4, The Fury of the Firestorm. If you would like to check out my spoiler review, I'll leave that in the description bar below so you can go and check that out. But yeah, thanks everybody for watching. This is SCL0320 signing out. We'll be back tomorrow for Arrow review if we do not go to a movie to see something crazy. Because I think that there's something that we really want to see and we can't tell y'all what it's going to be. But later y'all. Love y'all. Peace.